Welcome in, everyone. Tonight's video, we're going to recap a Discord trade idea from 3/21/24. Um, so we're going to go over the trade idea, the flow, kind of some things I noticed with it, and how I kind of found my entry. So let's get started here. We're going to go over the trade idea first and go over the flow and touch on the flow analysis. So last night, obviously, I had my entry 177.81 on AMD. And so our flow here, so my flow analysis, AMD 20K 30 days expiration on the flow feed. Very bullish flow into close here, and I'll zoom in here in a second on this. Flow alert on the 419 200 call for over 140,000. Large whale on the 419 135 call for 135K, and a whale on the 419 200 call for 102K. So let's look at the flow here. So here's that flow alert on the 419 200 call. Add that premium together, and we can assume it's the same whale just based off the timing there. And a couple 30 seconds earlier, we had a bigger whale on the 419 195 calls for 135K. And a minute before that, 200 calls, 419, 101K, or 102K there as well. So those were the three trades that stuck out to me going into close there. And in the morning here, so I updated our entry. So 177.70 was the idea. So I did leave a little note here. So AMD had a huge gap up. Obviously, MU had good earnings, so semis flew in the morning in pre-market. So I was keeping the original entry area just in case we get a drop in profit taking. So let's go over to the chart now. So, and I do want to show one more thing. So in our daily briefing, I did touch on this as well too. So here we are this morning. So with AMD, here's our note on that. So here's our update on AMD. So I have the update. I was initially going to add in that momentum entry, but with the 2.5% gap up, I didn't like chasing that. So we were going to find a conservative entry for a bounce. So moving back to the day trade area there. So, and that idea was perfect because if we would have chased right at open after the huge gap up, and if we would have gapped up and kind of just stayed around this 181 level, not a huge gap up, but over 2.5%, would have probably threw in a momentum entry, but we were almost up 3% pre-market. Not smart to chase something like that, and obviously that idea was perfect there to not chase. So, and again, we had profit taking, some dropping at open, which kind of expected with market hitting all-time highs again yesterday. So our entry here was the 177, or it was 177.70. So coming back to Discord here. So I did put a note out right before we were going with that 182.5 call, and always 10% stops for my day trades. So with the 182.5 call here, and first we'll go over the contract as well here in a second, but we came 4 cents from the bottom. This is a very, very good spot. No way you can stop out and hit that 10%. So, I mean, this is a very quick trade. I actually didn't get filled on it, but I know some members in the group did. So, perfect entry here, and very, very beautiful run up here. And we ran up about 2.5% from the bottom there. So, really good run. And this is a nice trade you can easily size out of. More than likely, you're going to size out in this area on that drop coming back there. If you had some runners, I mean, you could leave them and then get out there. We'll go over the contract here. So it was the 182.5 call, and we triggered at, we can come back, 9:42, and I'm Central Time. Bump this down. So 182.5. And I suppose just look for the low of the day. So here's our 942, and you could have got filled. I went with a 96 fill just for an average there, probably 96, 98. But you can see how we just shot right back up, and here was that before that first little drop up to 124. So 96, or actually I believe that Yeah, about 123. Could have maybe got out about 142 here at the high. Actually, let me pull this back up. I don't know why I'm seeing that wrong. So yeah, you had this nice little run up here. I mean, stops were really would have been really tight here. Probably go up here just because you have good momentum there. So an IV's on your side on the contract, so they're probably not going to drop too fast there. So where's my contract again? End of the day. So here you go. So we'll say 98. I'm kind of touching about 141, 142. So, I mean, that's a 47% trade. Even if you get out in here about 15, 20%, probably that's what I like. And obviously, depending if you had how many contracts you trade with, highly probably not going to happen. You're probably going to start getting out around here, around 170 at the latest, especially when you start seeing some of these dips. But we did actually top out at 227 here, 227. So that'd be 0.96 to 2.27, so 136% for a max return. But again, not expected to get a max return. Very rare that happens. So really smooth trade there. And looking at the entries, so the way I like to look for my entries, I kind of start further out on the time frames. And since I'm looking just for kind of a little quick intraday bounce, I start to drill down. So I mean, here's your hour candle. You can see good support here, good support in here, support, support, support. And even looking at this on a daily, you can see stupid things. I don't like when they have that there. Can I get that? Yes, I can. I mean, you can see we have a we call this a demand zone. Support, yeah, demand zone here. I had to think for a second. I do not use Webull charts. That's kind of why I'm making it really goofy. So obviously that's the top of our supply zone there, but you can see our supply zone coming here. So you could assume we'd see some buying in there. So let me delete that and zoom back in. So 1 hour chart, obviously good support here yesterday. Good support. Good support. And then I just like to drill down. I mean, jump down to the 30-minute. Delete this one here. Zoom back in. So 170.70, you could see that good support yesterday and sustained time here too, which is nice. You don't want to get stuck in like a 30-second profitable trade. You want to have time to size out. Like today was perfect timing for that. So again, good bounce there. Pretty good bounce, would have been momentum there. Support, support. Good buy in there. More support. So kind of just looking at that, drilling down. So I really found my entry though based off that 5 minutes. So this is today. This is yesterday. I kind of like this spot there for a bounce, and obviously we had a good bounce there. But I like the 319 spot. So you look on the 5 minute here, you have sustained timing in this profit taking zone. So it gives you enough time to get out of take profits and not have to rush. So I mean, you have 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes, 5, 10, 15 in here, 5, 10, 15, and then I mean, big run at the end of the day there. So it gives you time to take out profits. So I'm kind of looking for spots like that. Obviously, the longer you do it, you'll find better spots and all that. But that is our trade recap for today. And if you're interested in trying Discord, link is in the bio or in the description of the video. And then I also do have an Unusual Whales discount code, which I'll leave in the description below as well. Have a great night, everyone.